Hey guys, welcome back to Heavy Metal Rex. I actually recorded this video a couple of days ago while I was driving, and I realized I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm just re-recording it again. I'm actually on my way to pick up my daughter from school, from daycare. So I figured, what great time to record this while I got time just driving around. I want to talk about my car, and it's fun to do while I'm driving it. So this video is actually about my experience getting E-Tune. And I went with Etune, which people in the St. Louis area and probably other areas around kind of know. I believe this is an individual that used to work at our local Subaru performance shop, so there's a connection there. And I wanted to just kind of give you guys an idea of my impressions of what I thought the whole experience was like. And from the get-go, I will say, very relaxed, very simple. I mean, you're emailing somebody. It can't get more informal and simple than that. And in my case, that's exactly what it was. You know, I went to the website, and he has a website. I put in the parts that I have. In my case, I had a stage 2 MA performance package with the intake as well. It was $250 for the E-Tune, $25 extra for an aftermarket intake, which you do have to let them know that you have. And I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, they asked a couple of questions like, what other things do you have on the car? What are your plans for the car in the future? You know, just kind of give you a basic and background of what you want to do so that they can tune it accordingly. And in my case, it's, like I said, pretty simple. I daily this car, you know, I use it to pick up my daughter from school. You know, I use it just driving around on the weekends just for fun. I like going fast, but it's, you know, it's not a crazy big requirement for me. I just wanted it to be fun. So a couple of days later, I get an email back from them, basically listing all of the things that I need to do. It was actually pretty nice. They put in YouTube videos and everything and instruction guides if you've never used an access port or you don't know how to use it, or there's a software you have to install on your computer called the Access Port Manager, kind of showing you how to use that. So like pretty detailed information on what to do. And in my case, or anybody's e-tuning case, you will have to go and set on your access port the specific things that they want you to log. You will need to set that, and also make sure that the first revision of the tune that they send you, which is based off of the parts that you told them, that you load it up on your access port and flash it on your car. Obviously, you need that. That's the whole point. So once that's done, he gave me some basic instructions on what to do. You know, 5 minutes warm idle, you know, warmed up engine idle, 15-minute drive, uphill, downhill, highway, whatever, and then just like a third gear pull from 2,500 RPM, and all of it in one log. And the log is really easy to get. It's just, you plug the AP back to your computer, open up Access Port Manager, there's a data log section, it's an Excel file, you copy, paste, throw it in an email, send it off. Pretty simple to do. I'd say the whole process took maybe about a month and a half, and in between I did have, I think, I did actually have like about 6-day vacation in there, and I let him know, like, hey, you know, if you reply back, I'm gonna be gone, I'll reply back to you when you come back. Pretty chill, I'd say. And I did actually ended up having some extra questions in between, you know, like anybody, if you guys ever do your stage 2 for your WRX, you will notice that there's a slight extra smell. And some people, and I believe this is more on the EJ engine, actually you get blue smoke out of the exhaust, which I did not get any blue smoke at all. I think I just the regular amount of smoke, but just a little bit extra smell. And you know, we talked about getting the parent sump restrictor, which I have a video on. We installed, and honestly, that, I mean, I'm not gonna say it like completely removed all the smell, because now I do have a different exhaust. However, it did remove a lot of that smell, right? Same thing with the restrictor pill. I forgot to take the restrictor pill out after I installed the J-pipe. I let him know. He was able to make some modifications. I took the pill out, back to normal, right? No big deal. Overall, like I said, very pleasant, very calm situation. Now, I do understand that it's through email, and sometimes it can seem a little informal, but like I felt like it would have been different if I had gone to a performance shop, which I do have plans on going later on when I get more parts. Right now, this was more of just add a little bit extra oomph, a little bit extra fun, until I get back around to buying more parts, which, you know, that's kind of comes around bonus time. So, you know, I can't buy big parts every day, you know. So, and that was pretty much it. You know, he was actually the one that turned me on to Virtual Dyno. on, to try and get a better assessment of what kind of gains I am receiving throughout the days. So in this particular case, I actually did dyno the car. Virtual dyno. Again, you're doing it at home. It's not going to be perfect. It's just to give you rough idea of where you're at. So when I first did it, I tried to find the straightest, smoothest road I could, recreate it as best that I could, like exactly, right, with the same amount of gas. Everything that I could do, I tried to do. So stock, I was getting like about 220-ish horsepower and like 230-ish wheel torque. That was the best out of all of the averages. I did maybe like 6 runs with like 2-3 minutes in between run to try and get and that was the average that I got, was about 220 and 230. And I tried to do the virtual dyno after every revision of the tune that I got, and I got about 8 of them. I didn't get all of them. I think I did maybe about like 4 or 5 of them. I did do virtual dyno, and each time I could see a gradual increase as long as I was consistent with my location where I did it. It was pretty consistent. I could see, like, oh wow, revision 3, I got a little bit more torque. Revision 4, I got a little bit more horsepower. And he was letting me know, like, hey, this time I'm gonna add a bit more boost. You'll see a little bit more boost. You're gonna, I'm gonna pull it back. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I could kind of see it, not so much in the logs, but in the power. I could see the changes in the power. So basically, at the end of the revision, he did actually get it back to, the first revision was more kind of like a stock map where the turbo really kicks in around like 2,000, 2,500 RPM. And so right now, the way it is, the RPM ranges, the turbo kicks in somewhere around torque comes in at, full torque comes in around like 3,500 RPM, which is nice for gas mileage because most of my driving is pretty chill driving. I don't, 9 out of 10 times, if I'm driving with my kid. So I need the excess gas mileage. So for me, that was great. And right now, I think that this is like the best that I've been able to do with my last revision. I'm sitting, again, these are, home virtual dyno on the computer numbers. So don't, you take this however you want. I'm sitting at about 280-ish, between, like high 270s, low 280s horsepower, and like 290-ish to 300 torque, like somewhere between 295 and 310, somewhere. I don't know the exact numbers. That's the best I've been able to get with my limited amount of testing. And I only have access to highways, and highways in Missouri are kind of hilly and not that great. They're kind of a piece of shit. I don't know where the hell my tax dollars are going, but it's not fixing any of these potholes. So there's a section that I was able to recreate accurately, but of course it was between exits. So I'm doing a pull, I get off the exit, I wait at the light, cool down, come back around, do it again. I did about 7 runs, and that was like the range that I got. And the range could have been any number of things. It could be my intercooler heating up, it could be just, maybe like I went over the slightest bump. I don't know. That's why I'm giving like a range. And honestly, I can feel it, right? I can feel the difference. And more importantly, visually, when he asks me to do a 3rd gear pull, that was the one thing that I was able to definitively test, is how fast I was able to go in each 3rd gear pull. Like, for example, when I first started in 3rd gear, I was only making it to like somewhere in the 80s, and towards the end of the tuning, when I would hit 3rd gear, I was coming up to like 90, 91, 92, 93, somewhere like around that. So I could see at the same RPM, I'm getting faster speeds. At least that's what I noticed. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just giving you like my experience. I'm just a regular person. I'm not a mechanic. I've owned performance vehicles before, but I have never tuned. I've never went and gotten one tuned. I've never really bought any aftermarket parts for any of them. Before this I had a 2012 GTI. Before that I had a 2006 RX-8, and they were both completely stock. I didn't have the money or the sense at the time to do anything with it. Actually, probably it was more I didn't have the money to do anything with it, or a garage, or backup, things like that. So they were stock. So now I'm doing all these things, and of course I'm doing it to a Subaru, and everybody's, you know, all the things that you hear about Subarus blowing up or whatever. But honestly, I feel like on the forums, it is like overwhelmingly stock WRXs that blow up. I don't know what it is, but so that's my experience. That's what I saw. You know, I'm happy with the car. I definitely want to do more, but I'm not, like, I'm in no rush to do it. Also because I don't have an infinite amount of funds to do it. So I'm happy where it's at. I want to do a virtual dyno video just to kind of show you guys what my numbers look like and how I went about doing it, because there are a couple of extra things that you need to pull, some extra data points you need to pull from your cob to get some of like the exact data. And I mean, it's not hard. It was only maybe like 3 or 4 things over what Shinji, my tuner, already told me to get. And so it really wasn't that bad. And I know I've got a couple of friends who have also recently went stage 2, and this would be good for them as well, because then they can go on their roads and kind of get a ballpark figure of what kind of power they're making. Now, I've raced both of them, and we're like pretty dead even, and we all have WRXs, all stage 2, but varying parts. We all have different parts, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what kind of power they get, same stage but different pieces. So that's really about it. Just wanted to give you guys an idea of what's been going on. Like I said, revision took 8 revisions. That's how many times I had to get an email from Shinji. It took about a month and a half. I'm not upset. It kind of gave me something to look forward to versus, you know, going to a shop and just sitting there for like 3-4 hours, which again, in the future, that will be happening. We have a really nice shop. I definitely want to go, and I want that full experience of taking a performance car to a dyno and just doing all that stuff with them. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please, again, let me know. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.